What is going on, you beautiful people? Happy Thursday. We're going to be doing a live here just because, well, I get so many freaking comments on my YouTube videos, and I do not have nearly enough time to sit down and actually write out answers and stuff. So we're going to do a little bit of trying to answer some questions, in particular to like this week's video, which yeah, I've got a lot of questions about the blindness that can be related to Ozempic and Wegovy. So we're going to kind of go through my comments, pretty unfiltered. It should be kind of a good time because, well, they are pretty hilarious comments at time points and such. So stay tuned, enjoy, and all of the above. We'll kind of see how things look and go. I think we got everything going, don't we? Yeah, we're good. Cool. All right, so where are those comments at? Long-term side effects, maybe we'll just start at the top. So this is on like my managing constipation, diarrhea with Ozempic. What if I have a hiatal hernia and it's already causing me bad reflux and pressure? Can it be dangerous? Should I eat very little and maybe drink a lot of water or something? I'm just at the beginning of the Wegovy use. I only took my first dose this week, and I'm afraid that if I have constipation and undigested food, it might cause a problem. My doctor, it shouldn't, but I don't know, man. Fair enough. In general, if you have a hiatal hernia, when it comes to these things, not everybody is going to get the side effects that can potentially happen with Wegovy, Ozempic, and that sort of thing. Even if you have a hiatal hernia or other GI issues or previous reflux, is there an increased chance that those things could happen? I mean, absolutely, but it's not guaranteed. It's kind of looking at what would be the other measures and metrics that you would use for managing reflux in the first place, using those and those types of things. Close monitoring, maybe starting with a lower dose of the Wegovy. There's lots of different things and such that can ultimately help and mitigate and manage those things. And so it's really kind of just keeping all of that in mind and yeah, tweak and modify and see what ultimately works. You might be perfectly fine. You could get side effects. Either way, monitor. If something comes up, then potentially the medication isn't for you. So keep track of that, see if that helps, and kind of go from there. Where is that? Okay. So on my Wegovy linked to blindness, should I switch to Mounjaro to be on the safe side from 12533 Renee? So when it came to that study with the NA-ION, so non-arteritic ischemic optic neuropathy. Yeah, nailed that. Say that 3 times fast. When it comes to that eye condition, this is one study that we currently have. It's an observational study. The authors happen to look at semaglutide in individuals that have obesity and diabetes. So right now, it's just with semaglutide, and even then there was a number of issues with the study and confounders and that sort of thing. So we don't even know for sure if this is a related side effect to Ozempic or Wegovy, or which is semaglutide at this point in time. Does that mean, though, could it be, translated or extrapolated in terms of a class effect? So it's going to be all of the GLP-1 medications potentially have this effect. Right now, it's way, way too preliminary to say that it is the case until we know what the mechanism is and whether there actually is a true causation of you take this drug and you develop this eye condition and develop blindness. We don't really know the ins and the outs at that point. So it could be a class effect. It could be nothing at all. Right now, based on that study, it's one study, it's observational. We need a lot more data, and overall, I wouldn't say making the jump and switching to Mounjaro would be worth it at this point in time. If you want to switch to Mounjaro, sure, go for it. But yeah, we need a lot more data before I can really answer that question. Ravia Nathana Mahaya 7567. This is quite scary. Does it apply to oral semaglutide tablets taken daily? So In this study, the authors didn't specifically look at Ribelsis or the oral semaglutide tablets. They were only looking at Ozempic and Wegovy, both of which contain semaglutide. So it's applying to semaglutide, but not specifically to the oral semaglutide version. If there is a true causation of semaglutide causing this issue, then I would assume that it would apply to the tablets as well, because it's still semaglutide, still being absorbed, etc. But they didn't specifically study the tablet, so again, we don't know. There's a lot of unanswered questions, and yeah, we gotta figure that piece of things out. Silver Surfer 8237, FUD to get people to switch to those drugs from Lilly and Pfizer. FUD. I don't know what FUD means. I'm assuming like some kind of make a side effect come up so that people, yeah, then switch over to the competitor's drugs or something like that. I mean, sure, if it does and the other ones don't show any effects like that, then absolutely, maybe it could be. But yeah, I don't really know. I don't have a good answer on that one for you. So maybe not. Tough to say. Spatos says, thank you. You are very welcome, Spatos. Let me click on liking all these so they will disappear from my comment section. Debbie Schultz 106 says, I can't take Ozempic or Wegovy. It made me too sick. I've been on it for 2 years and my eyes took a beating. I'm on Mounjaro and it's better on my body. I'm really sick and losing more weight, 50 pounds total. I still need to lose 20 more pounds. I'll be on it the rest of my life, so I have time. Type 2 diabetic, fatty liver, insulin resistance, I've got it all. Yeah, sorry to hear it there, Debbie Schultz, but good work, and glad you found Mounjaro and you found that it's helping for you. That's awesome. SMC GM2NX. Anyone had stomach issues from taking Ozempic? Yeah, it's a pretty common set of side effects. We expect things like, nausea, heartburn, constipation, diarrhea. Definitely all of those can be potential side effects in that regard. So yeah, not uncommon. Ada J says, FUD is fear, uncertainty, doubt. Okay, so fear, uncertainty, doubt to get people to switch from Wegovy, Ozempic, that sort of thing, over to the drugs from Lilly, which is the only one that's out right now. Pfizer has something in the pipeline, but hasn't made it to market yet. So glad we cleared that one up as to what FUD actually is. Very nice. Sweet. All right, I think we've got a couple of more questions on this video here. So Vern Chrysler says, as I always say, data mining is so much better than randomized human trials. I think I always say that. I think this is being sarcastic, because yes, data mining, data mining and finding results and not being able to control for all the confounders and stuff like that, that is one of the big problems with observational trials. That was one of the big problems with this study about the eye condition and blindness, is that it was observational. The authors went back in time, looked at the data, pulled the data and made a comparison between people that were on Ozempic and Wegovy versus people that were not, and tried to match and make all these comparisons. But they didn't take into account, or they didn't control for BMI or the amount or severity of someone's obesity. They didn't control for diabetes and the severity of the diabetes, how long they've had it, and that sort of thing. So going back in time, mining that data, good, maybe there's a signal there, but we really need some more in-depth trials. And when we actually compare this situation to the randomized controlled trials, which we have quite extensively, and thousands upon thousands of individuals on the medication for upwards of multiple years, we haven't seen this rare eye condition. We haven't seen blindness as a side effect that's coming out. So the randomized controlled trials, if they're well done and have been put together in a good way, they tend to trump those observational trials. So yeah, cool. Tracy.H. I took Ozempic and Trulicity and got BVV sick. My AC1 is 6.9 and my doctor said just lose weight. How about that? That's all you need to do. I can't take metformin either. What the heck do I do? I can't just eat lettuce and seaweed. Um, yeah, so, okay. So you took Ozempic, Trulicity, and unfortunately some people just don't tolerate them. I would be looking at more of the less potent GLP-1s in that situation. So Saxenda, Victoza, that sort of thing. Those can all be good options to help you manage your weight and obtain kind of the benefits from the GLP-1 medications. And yeah, you shouldn't be just eating lettuce and seaweed. You should be eating plenty of protein, good whole grain carbs, fruits, vegetables, all of those things. In fact, if you were to incorporate and make your diet entirely made out of whole foods, so all the individual ingredients, the proteins, the grains, and that sort of thing, all the things found in the outer perimeter of the supermarket, yeah, you would actually be able to probably manage your weight quite well. We have very good data showing that when people eat whole foods, you naturally eat less because obtaining enough calories with whole foods is very, very hard. It becomes much more challenging to overeat on whole foods. And largely the processed food environment that we live in is one of the big contributors to obesity at the present time. So focusing on whole foods, getting in those good nutrients, good amounts of proteins, whole grain carbs, and that sort of thing, and that can be helpful. But again, trying the less potent GLP-1s are also an option. So there you go. Yasina 810 says, Dr. Dan, does this apply to tirzepatide users as well? So again, on my blindness video that I just did, as I already answered, we don't know. We don't even know if it actually applies to semaglutide and Ozempic and Wegovy at this point in time. We need more data and information to really decide and figure out where things are sitting in that sense of it. So there is that. So I think that's most of the comments on the blindness video. Yeah. That looks cool there. That's those videos, comments. Sweet. Okay. Let's see. Got tons of other comments here. So on my Saxenda 101 video, we have Angie Warner 3872. I've not lost anything and I'm on week 3 dose 1.8 this week. Calorie deficit, lots of protein, walking 1 mile a day, no side effects, and not a single pound lost. Okay, it's been 3 weeks. Give it time, be patient, keep doing what you're doing. If you're still not losing weight after the 4th week, then you're not actually in a calorie deficit. One common thing that I see a lot of people doing is they might be in a calorie deficit Monday through Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, well, we throw it all out the window because it's the weekend. It's time to relax, time to ease up, take everything off. And ultimately that blows whatever kind of calorie deficit we created during the week, and voila, we do not lose any weight. So that certainly can be an aspect that's looking at from that perspective, and yeah, kind of being mindful of it, taking that into account, and continue to be patient and keep compounding and doing all the good things you're doing. So on my watch before taking Mounjaro video, Shirak1234, would it help if you are exercising regularly and eating moderately along with IF already? I do all of these things and my weight is sort of constant despite that. I mean, exercising regularly and eating moderately, I mean, we could really pick at, you know, what exactly are those definitions. There's nothing wrong with any of those things, and they're all fantastic, particularly the activity piece of things. Intermittent fasting, I mean, if that's what floats your boat, go for it, but there's nothing spectacular about it. It really doesn't facilitate and increase your chances of losing weight. It's just another way to create a calorie deficit so you can ultimately lose weight. You said it's your hyperthyroid. So if you're hypothyroid and you haven't got that corrected via medication or hormone replacement or what have you, then you definitely need to go get that done, because that's going to be something that's going to inhibit you. But once that's corrected, then you should be all good to go. And yeah, you just need to be getting as much activity as you can, eating in a calorie deficit, and yeah, all those things can certainly help you in managing your weight. Um, roam in around. From what medical school did you graduate? So, my background, I actually did two pharmacy degrees. So I'm a pharmacist by training. University of Alberta is where I went to. So I did my Bachelor of Science in Pharmacy up there, did another Bachelor of Science before that, and then I did my Doctor of Pharmacy there afterwards, and now have my own obesity practice up here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. So there you have it, people. Sweet. Okay, that's kind of a list of questions for today. Yeah, great questions, everybody. I always enjoy the comment section. Wish I had more time to answer and dive into them a little bit more deeply and stuff like that. But we might have to kind of do these quick little streams like this where I hammer out some questions and stuff. As always, check out my other videos. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, then you definitely need to do that. It'll make me oh so happy. And of course, yeah, check out all the other things that I have going on and check out my other channels. So thanks again for the support, all of you beautiful people. I hope you have a wonderful Thursday. And if you're not being affected by the smoke, that is fantastic and awesome. Hope if you are being affected by it, you are staying safe and taking care of you and your family. It's not worth the dangers that come with the fires and stuff, as devastating as they are. And stay healthy, make sure you get some clean air, and try to stay cool. So there you have it, people. We will talk to you next week sometime.